the panpipe.
Perhaps.
Little Pied Piper action going on. All right,
yeah,
cool.
I mean...
Sorry. If that was the first thing you heard for today's episode, I'm sorry.
I hope it kicked in right there.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect beginning.
That would. But welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome everyone. Happy holidays and all that jazz to Awesome Hardware. This is episode 134, Side A. Side B will be on Paul's channel in about an hour or so. You can go ahead and check the link in my video description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can head over to Paul's Hardware or youtube.com/Paul's Hardware after this half is over. If you're watching on Twitch, just stay where you are because we will stream the entire episode right there. But this is a fun tech news show / variety show that we do every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Most of you guys know that. Those of you who don't, welcome. Hope you guys have a good time watching us today. I'm sure Paul has a great half of his show, but on the other hand,
my half's not really all that great.
It's still like I didn't really have much time to prepare for my half of the show at all today. Like I literally spent maybe 15 minutes total prepping for my half of the show. Just quick disclaimer, so if you guys are why am I even apologizing?
Expectations down here.
I mean, yeah, their expectations are already pretty low, and that's the beauty of this show is that we can bomb the worst episode ever, and people were like, "That's pretty standard. That's pretty normal for them. It's not anything out of the ordinary." So we kind of set ourselves up for that.
We suck at this
in a good way, but we can still carry on here. Not all is lost. I still have some things planned. And we sell things. We sell things on our store.
Transition from we're awful and we're providing you minimal entertainment value,
but stick with us.
But buy stuff from us.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can't trust someone who's like responsible all the time. That's just they're a machine. Clearly AI. But my store is bitwit.tech/store.
Yes, it is.
Forgot it there. I have new stuff-ish. New mugs.
Holiday discount code still active.
Holiday sales are a booming. People, last chance.
New mugs.
Last chance to get these killer deals until next Christmas.
Look at that. Look
yeah,
at those.
The mouse pads have been selling really well. People have been telling me that they're very high quality, and they are. They're super nice. Buy stuff from Paul's store too.
My store is also a good store.
paulshardware.net.
The merch comes from the same place, and it is of equal quality.
Yeah, which is good.
Mine is maybe slightly better.
No, they're exactly the same, Paul.
I pay John off a little bit.
Wow. So
anyway.
I could just see John in the back. Like, every mouse pad of mine he sends out, like right before he boxes it, he just like cuts it.
Yeah,
he just like
exactly.
just like a giant
small blemish.
Just stabs.
I got keycaps, also mugs.
And keycaps.
They're good. These are the mugs. These new
them mugs
printed
be sexy.
colorful mugs. 15 ounces. 4 ounces more than those crappy 11-ounce mugs.
Hey, I got a mug that matches my shirt. Do you? Designed
by Brian.
Yes. Maroxit.
Who has he's done quite a few designs for us.
He's also one of the I think I picked him out for Pimp My PC later. So
well then,
we'll take a look at one of his builds coming up soon.
What a great tie-in.
Yeah, totally.
Segue.
Random plug. Let's.
That's why we set expectations low. This random.
It's like, wow, that was so good.
Wow.
How they made that reference, like, kind of like.
All right, enough about expectations.
Yeah, I totally bobbed it there. Guys, I see your donations in Super Chat here on YouTube. I appreciate it. We will be reading off any messages or comments that you attach to said donations at the end of each half of the show. So we're not ignoring you. We're just saving it all for the end. If you have any questions, feel free to throw in a $100 donation or whatever, some random number, and we'll be sure to follow up with you guys. But let's dive into some of the news.
I think before we do that, Kyle.
We need more beer?
Well, we should mention that occasionally we curse on the show, so
I forgot about that. Right.
And then I was also going to say we should open this beer.
Yeah! The Golden Drak, which is a Belgian ale, correct?
It is.
Okay. I haven't had this in probably 3 or 4 years, but I remember it being quite tasty and strong, if my memory suits me.
It is 10.5% alcohol by volume.
I've also forgotten that it has a cork, but
it's got a little cork on the top.
This reminds me of right now is is the did you ever watch Tosh.0, his web redemption?
I mean, I watched a few episodes.
That was my web redemption.
Ah!
Whoa! Good lord! Wait, what? How did that? Why was it so?
You've never opened one of these before?
No, not a golden drock. They don't usually do that.
Most beer that is corked like that.
Really?
With the cage on top. That's the reason the cage is there.
Christ. Okay, let me get some paper towels.
Sorry, the dogs are barking. It's alright, we saved most of it. And I've got a decent amount of head there on mine. Let's see if I can salvage this.
Scratch what I said about the web redemption. We'll have to rain check that at a later time.
I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Hey, at least it wasn't my eye this time.
You're right. It's just like it popped up and it's like it's about to come out.
Like the travesty of your fail can be directly, like, objectively measured by how well it does on like as a Twitch clip.
That's mine. So give me that.
This is yours. Okay.
Yeah. I gave you.
I
gave you a half decent pour there.
Thank you. I wish I could have said the same thing for you.
It gave mine time to settle down. Everything's fine.
I have I'm a normal person, but when I open bottles with corks, I'm autistic or something. I don't know.
It's I don't know what's wrong with me. It's charming. It's sort of a charming thing that you have such difficulty with that.
This is a perfect time to also promote my Beware of Bottleneck shirt on my store. It's never been more true and relevant here in 2017. Go ahead and check that out. Good Lord. God help me. God help us all.
Commemorating the...
There it is.
Because when something like that happens, you gotta capitalize on it.
Absolutely.
Make it into a shirt and sell it.
It's the only thing that I've ever done that's been noticed by the world is just failing miserably.
It's been in a bunch of Twitch fail roundups and stuff, hasn't it?
Has it? I have no idea.
Yeah, because it was one of the...
What? I haven't watched any of those. Where do you see these? On Twitch?
I mean, I spend most of my time watching Twitch fail roundups. That's kind of my thing.
That's I'm like, where do you have time to watch these things?
I have a list. I'll share with you of all of them that have. But no, it's like because you can go and there's certain ones that are more popular that get lots of views, and so they just go and look at the ones that've gotten lots of views. And
right.
Hammer together a video and they put it on a crappy top 10 channel. This is a top 10 everything channel.
Yeah, I mean they do phenomenally well, better than us.
This is the top 10 popular things that popular people are doing and are interesting right now. Watch it. This is top 10. I hate those. And
they didn't spend any time benchmarking anything. They didn't have to benchmark a single thing.
I haven't even started.
And they're making way more money than either of us combined.
Yeah, they're way more profitable than what we do.
It's just not fair. It's just not fair. This life. But that's good to know that my fail's being shared all over the world.
But cheers.
Cheers to you guys at home.
And I thank you also. Joe brought this, I think, right? Or did you bring this?
And thank you, Joe. Yeah, I think Joe did.
This is one of the ones that Joe brought. So thanks, Joe.
Yeah, he's got good taste. Mm-hmm.
That's good. Ooh,
that's good stuff.
It's almost
10%, you said?
It's almost like you gotta chew it a little bit.
Ugh. Oh my God.
I mean, it feels like there's substance to it.
It's all that
yeast.
All right.
It's probably lots of yeast.
Yeast chunks. All right.
Let's talk about something.
Let's go into hot and heavy hardware.
Oh, good.
A segment where we talk about hardware that's hot and heavy. Still aptly named. Still a very aptly named segment. Starting with this article from overclock3d.net about an Aoc Freesync Display that's going to potentially appeal to a lot of you budget gamers out there who are rocking or plan to rock AMD GPUs supporting the adaptive refresh rate technology. I'm really good at just sabotage burps.
Our show.
Just impromptu burps. All right.
I love our show.
This is the Aoc Gaming G2590VXQ. It's a 24.5-inch 1080p TN display. Hear me out though. That comes with a listed FreeSync range of 30 to 75, which is actually a pretty wide range for FreeSync, all things considered, especially when you consider the price tag of 159. That's Great British pounds, but that's still pretty cheap.
What's
159 GBP in US?
It's probably
GBP.
US dollars are probably about 200. No, a little less than that.
200? 213.
No, a little more.
Yeah, you're
than that.
pretty close.
213.
Yeah, so about 200, but that's still pretty good. Honestly, I personally 24.5 inches for gaming is still a little small for me. That's actually the monitor that I started out with when I first built my computer. My first PC back in 2011 was a 24-inch, and it was fine then. And I scaled up to 27. I was like, oh, I'll never go back to 24, and then now I'm on ultra wide, which is a little different. But anyway, getting off topic here. Pretty impressive for the price, all things considered. We don't know yet if it's going to have VESA support. It's probably going to have an okay stand, which can be a deal breaker for some people. I'm a stand fan personally. I need to have a solid stand if I'm going to dump some money into a monitor.
That's something you got to take a stand on.
Absolutely. That's well said. Well said, Paul. But you know, it's a monitor. It's cool because FreeSync just got better with this potentially with this product, in the fact that the range is wider, has a wider range. I mentioned that before. Hopefully we can see this, you know, I don't know. I'd like to see this on a 27-inch panel that's IPS. I think the TN is probably going to be the deal breaker, because most people, when I review or talk about a TN panel, everyone's like, nope. Everyone throws their hands up now with TN panels. And I kind of get, I fully get it, because Asus sent me it was like a 200 hertz. It was a 200 hertz refresh rate.
Here, I was looking at his wiener over there.
No, it's not his wiener, actually. He's looking at his rib cage or his belly.
He's really into it, whatever he's doing. It's only 1080?
Only 1080. So, you know, I don't know.
This is...
You have to have a really small desk to use this monitor.
I feel like...
It's got to be you know, I thought that said Mark Hamill at first. It's Mark Campbell. Thank you, Mark Campbell.
Mark Campbell, yeah.
We'll be talking about Mark Hamill later, though. Yeah, it's, you know, it's not a high-end, it's an entry-level monitor for someone, but I get it. For someone who, for example, maybe built the $400 Black Friday build that I put together, right? It's not really going to be able to handle much more than 1080p.
If you could bundle it with an RX 570 or 580, you know,
right,
at a decent price, then might be a good entry-level FreeSync package.
But I mean,
you probably can't do that because they're still overpriced. Anything's
better than the bullshit gamer packages that AMD threw together with Ryzen and whatever the hell it was.
That was mainly disappointing because the fixed monitor that you had to buy, they made it seem at first like you were getting, you could just take $200 or $300 off of any FreeSync monitor. And it's like, wow, that'd be awesome. But no, it's just that one specific model that they jacked the price up on before. Yeah, because the retailers were messing with the prices on their sites to. What is with this singing? Why is there singing in the Christmas music? I thought there was no vocals and shit. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be lyrics. Jumping back. In the background music. Only we can talk on our show. That's why we don't have guests. If you ever want to be a guest on Awesome Hardware, don't ask us. Yeah, we're terrible at that. We're bad. We're just no, we like it just us. We're listening to a Mannheim Steamroller Christmas, by the way, guys. The background music, because this is the Christmas episode. Steamroller. Yeah. I don't. My dad had this Mannheim Steamroller album when I was growing up, and it was always kind of weird, and it's just a little I don't know, but so I just looked it up, and it's been great so far. I want to talk to the 21 people who disliked this album. It just wasn't as Christmassy as I thought. This one right here. It lacked Christmas spirit. Uploaded by Betty P. Jensen. One of the songs had lyrics in it. I hope I could understand that. I hope that your video doesn't get flagged because of that. It's possible. Is it monetized? It's possible that any ads you guys watched before watching this video, the money for that might be going right to Mannheim Steamroller. Just wanted to point that out in case any of you guys aren't down with Mannheim Steamroller. That's what I'm saying. We're making bank off of you guys. Yeah. But we can move on to our next article here, and as part of a Hot and Heavy Hardware. Crucial has released a new SSD, the MX500. Ooh. This is an article from Hexus.net. They actually got their hands on a 1 terabyte model, and they gave it very high marks all around. 5-year warranty, power loss immunity, robust endurance claims. Power loss immunity. And I think the big seller here though was that it's faster than its predecessor, but at a very attractive price.
if I'm reading this right, the MX500 current retail price $259 for the 1 terabyte. Is that for the 1 terabyte?
It says up to 2 terabyte.
Right. So I'm wondering, what does the $259 is that? Which capacity are they talking about?
Oh no, it is 1 terabyte. It's 1 terabyte.
But then it says 480 too.
Oh, you're right. What is?
Right?
Texas?
It's a weird chart.
I'm so
It's a
confused.
weird little chart. I'm like, well, which one are you talking about, dudes? I would assume.
That's really.
I mean, it's a great price for 1 terabyte. If it's 1 terabyte, hell yeah, it's the cheapest 1 terabyte decent SSD that you would actually trust on the market right now. But if it's the 480, that's still decent, but not quite as compelling. So I don't know. Someone can. Okay, somebody said, "Thank you very much, Duncan Roller. This is why I love chat and live streaming, because I really don't have to do any of the work." 1 terabyte is $260. Assuming that this person is true or and right, correct, then that's a great deal. They gave it some sort of an award. I don't know, whatever. They liked it. The only con that they had in their little conclusion was that it has a SATA interface. The only con was that it's not NVMe. It doesn't have. It's not the latest interface. But that's still for what it's for what it is. That's I don't know if that's like a huge con. That's just sort of the circumstance of the product. They said it's it's more of a budget fit and forget SSD. What do they mean by that? Fit and forget. Like set it and forget it?
And like install it and then don't worry about it anymore?
But that's what I do with like my high-end NVMe drives too.
This is Hexus.
Aren't they?
They're based in the...
they're not American.
They're in the UK, I believe.
Right? They're a bunch of...
Contact us.
Bunch of Euros. Who knows what they're smoking.
Yeah, they're UK Hexus.
Okay.
I knew that. I was just confirming. I was just like,
what's
double checking.
What's a fit and forget SSD? I mean, unless you're like raiding stuff.
Set it and forget it. Like
it's not a George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
That is the only thing worthy of that title there. But
I like English euphemisms and stuff though.
Yeah.
Give it the old blob and squidge.
Blob and squidge. Yep. River on the Thames.
Punting on the Thames?
Punting on the Thames.
Yeah, it's just Mary Poppins. Just everything. That's UK.
I remember when you explained that reference to me when we were in the UK.
Oh yeah.
For Nvidia's, was it mobile? It was Mobile Pascal.
When they took the GTX 1080 and put it in notebooks.
Yeah, it was Mobile Pascal, and we were actually at the Thames River. Yeah. You were like punting on the Thames. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? What do you want? I think I became a little British that day because I think I was like, what the fuck are you on about? Like I just said it like that in a British accent, and you're like, yeah, it's from Mary Poppins, Like it sounds like a it was just like sounds like something you'd say to your wife. It was a good day. We got to punt on the Thames the other night. We should do that again sometime, love. I was like, what the fuck's going on right now? But good times. Everyone go to Europe. Support your foreign countries.
What?
I don't know.
This is going so well.
Not countries, but all right. GPD.
What is GPD?
GPD is the brand that makes the Win 2 handheld gaming PC.
Oh, cool.
And this article, once again from Hexus, has revealed some details and benchmarks for this device. That's very super niche. It's kind of interesting. It actually hit this summer, which surprises me because I did not even hear about this. I never heard about this. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Well, I'm surprised my radar. You had neither. There's the GP Win 2 and the GPD Win.
Right. This is the second iteration or whatever. So I was like, what where have I been? Have you? So you're very familiar with this?
Oh yeah, I've got 5 of these, at least.
Hacked mine to
keep losing them.
Watch porn.
Keep buying more because they're so awesome, and then misplace them. No, I've never heard of this.
You never? Okay, I thought it was going crazy. I was like, I should read more news. But it's featuring an Intel Core M3 7Y30 Kaby Lake.
Oh.
It's Kaby Lake, even though it's some random mobile SKU you've never heard of, with Intel HD Graphics 615. So no discrete, it's just integrated, which is probably what we would expect from a unit like this. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig M.2 SSD. I'd have to imagine that's SATA based. 6-inch 720p IPS screen, and it's good for, based on the benchmarks that it was showing, like a lot of the games that it was testing were pretty low intensive when it comes to GPU utilization. There's some synthetics there with 3D Mark 11 and etc. But some of the games that they were showing, like some playable performance with, included games like Skyrim, Dota 2, League of Legends, unless they were just laughing out loud over something. But I'm pretty sure they meant the game. And then Overwatch. So I mean, not some terrible marks here. Again, this is at 720p. You're getting over 60 FPS in 3 of these titles. Dota, LOL.
You can play GTA 5 at between 30 and 40 frames per second at 720 on this little handheld computer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of impressive,
Yeah, and I mean,
I want more images of it, like to look at the ergonomics and stuff like that.
Right.
Also, like durability of the housing and that kind of thing. For portable, like for handheld games and stuff like that. Like if you look at stuff like Nintendo does and everything, like so much of it goes beyond the hardware capabilities as far as what it can do graphically, and so much of it is about like durability. Is like you can have a 7-year-old who chucks it when they die in the game or something like that. So. Granted, it's PC, so maybe it's not aimed at quite the same market, but
right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is there any price on it or anything?
I think it said the first generation was like 300 something.
300.
I think it's
something?
it's probably. Check the end of the article, maybe. There we go. 340.
The original model launched at 340.
So this second one will probably be a little bit higher.
Yeah, with the upgrades, expect a price hike for the second
Maybe
version.
400, 450 or something like that. $399, some people are saying in chat. But I think this is interesting. I think this is kind of interesting. I could see a bunch of PC Master Racers get into this, especially if it's a full Windows environment that can be sort of modified and tailored to your own personal preference.
And, I mean, since it's a full... it's a PC, right? It runs Windows. And
then couldn't you have any emulator on it?
Yeah, so you could run emulators. I was saying you could also...
It's a DS,
you could also run Steam Link or whatever. Steam...
Oh, yeah.
The freaking Steam thing is, so if you had a more powerful gaming PC in your house and a decent enough Wi-Fi router, then you could,
stream
the game remotely from that and play at a better frame rate, that kind of thing. So that's cool, too.
Yeah, I don't know if people are saying... I don't know what the refresh rate on the monitor, the display is, but I don't know. Does refresh rate...
I feel like it'd have to be 60, as long as it's 60 or better, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't say.
I would hope at least 60.
I would expect a baseline of 60, and...
Yeah, me too.
That's... Yeah. Anyway...
Anyway, pretty sweet. Yeah, I'd like to check one of those out. But moving on here, our last little article for Hot and Heavy Hardware is from Guru3D.com about Corsair's new AIOs. They've got the H15i Pro and the H150i Pro. That's a 280 and 360 millimeter radiator, respectively. And you'll notice the Pro indicates that, well... It's not a hydro. These are not part of the same hydro coolers, the hydro line that we're used to. This is a new Pro line.
They don't use water?
That's not necessarily the case. They use professional water.
Professional water.
It's no longer hydro water or water. It's like very professional water that's like, wearing a suit and
it's
tie.
Probably some new substance that's more wet than water.
Ooh.
And the added wetness helps get you wet as you think about how wet your CPU is and how cool the H150i Pro is keeping it.
That's hashtag marketing right there.
Corsair, you can use that in your marketing stuff.
And make sure that you have a little sticker that validates that it is RGB wetness.
Yeah.
The wetness is all RGB.
Yeah.
So this is featuring a new design cooling block. Looks pretty nice. I wonder if that white can be swapped out for something else.
I believe they showed this design off at CES, yeah.
Yeah.
I recall.
Me too.
Might have been slightly modified for the final version.
Right. I'm wondering if they'll do a similar thing like they did with their last generation fans, where they have the blue, white, or red rings that you could swap out. Wondering if that's a similar thing here, with the white sort of.
I don't know. I feel like that's fallen out of style. You know, you just get the RGB LEDs in there now, and you don't bother with the fixed plastic.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they went with white, because some people like black is just so safe, and even white, like white things don't sell in this category quite nearly as much as like all black. So but I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, it's still color neutral and stuff.
I never know anything.
You don't. You're dumb, stupid. Shush. But let's see. We've got a retail price for the H15i Pro of $139 or 140 USD, and the H150i Pro would cost 160 US. Availability is to be determined, but I think the cool thing about these radiators, these AIOs, is that they're actually they're shipping with the ML Maglev fans. Ah,
yes.
And
those are some solid fans.
Those are really like some of the best fans on the market. And of course they have RGB on the water block, but whatever. But yeah, ML fans. I mean, that's like, those are what, $20-$30 a piece at least. So I could see why it's a bit of a price hike over their Hydro series for sure. Doesn't say in the article if there's any change to the actual like micro fins inside of the water block or anything like that, or the pump perhaps. The tubing looks like it's sort of the same kind of black sleeved fabric.
Yeah, I feel like there's only so far that you can go with that, you know, with radiator technology.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But maybe the fins are more dense, higher fin density or something like that.
They're titanium.
We're not sure.
They're titanium edged with rhinestones. That's the trend in 2018.
It's super effective. Yeah. Rhinestones. But that concludes Hot and Heavy Hardware.
That was good. That was a good.
Right?
I enjoyed that.
Could you? And you know what's sad is that kind of flowed exactly like all the other times I do that segment when I do prepare. When I am prepared.
Well,
which means I suck whether or not I prepare.
Which means you should not
ever prepare
anymore.
Right? Why have I been spending like hours upon hours planning for this show when I can just like pull it out of my butt in like 15 minutes? I'm gonna do that from now on.
I've asked myself that question.
You guys will never know.
Many times.
You'll never know the difference. Moving on though to our next segment, which is Pit My PC.
It is? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
It is on.
I'm ready for Pit My PC.
Like Donkey Kong. Our first system is from AFLO. AFLO.
It's going to be shown in just a moment. With
a 6700K, EVGA GTX 970 super clock. And let's see, we've got a Cooler Master half XM case. Old school, keep it old school, I like it. A Z170X Ultra Gaming motherboard from Gigabyte. H100i V2.
This picture of Kyle's commute to my house.
Yep, that was me. I was living dangerously, tweeting while driving. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at the side. Okay, so it looks like you've got sort of a black and red theme going on here.
All right, I got a red flag. Gotta throw a red flag right here.
I got a couple. Yeah, you go first.
It's sitting on the goddamn carpet, AFLO.
Oh!
What are you doing?
You ain't getting no AFLO.
I can't imagine
that zero AFLO.
I can't imagine that you took your computer off of your desk and set it down on the carpet in order to take this picture, which means it's sitting on the carpet the whole. Like that? Really? Where you keep your computer?
Look, and it's powered on.
Look at your power supply. That power supply has a fan at the bottom of it.
Just sucking up all the crud that's in your carpet.
Which is just being choked.
Yeah.
You were
sucking up the dirt, grime.
Like I complain about people keeping their computers on the floor. You are literally shortening the life of your power supply by by blocking the airflow to it.
Oh yeah, just dried up pieces of jizz and all that.
And you friggin' hell right, I'm triggered.
Yeah.
Deal with this
triggered
bullshit. People putting their computers on the ground.
Hot damn.
No respect.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay,
I hope it's not his permanent place for this thing.
All right, so
I really hope not.
So if this was a driving test at the DMV, it would have automatically failed. But let's at least go and look at the rest of your system. All right. Could use a dusting.
Dustin, yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, it's probably from being on the carpet 24/7, if it is.
Yeah.
Cable management is kind of sporadic. It just kind of looks
a little loose.
A little loose
and choppy.
Could be tightened up a little bit. And
dogs are...
yeah, no. I think the Noctua fan that you have there as a rear exhaust, it's probably doing a great job. But it's not doing you any favors in the cosmetic department just because it's a Noctua fan.
If you're going to really upgrade the aesthetics internally, the fan and your 5 1/4 inch optical drive are what's standing out. Everything else blends in fairly well aesthetically. You kind of need to take a second shot at your cable management, I feel like. Just tidy things up, use some twist ties, bunch some cables together, get rid of little things like the 2-pin that's kind of just hanging loose off of your plug on your graphics card there. Any of these cables that are just kind of going right over the motherboard here, just see if you can route them up against stuff. Cinch them down. And then it would look much better. And then take your computer and put it on your desk and treat it with respect, like you would a lady or something of great value. Okay. Next up.
Good job, A-Flow.
Hey, thanks, A-Flow.
Brian.
Maroxit 78.
He made this design. He designed this. He's a genius and he's talented. He says, I'm probably too late, but here's my entry for Pimp My PC. You weren't too late. You were wrong. $470 after mail-in rebate. Entry-level gaming build. R3 1200. Overclocked to 3.8 gigahertz. MSI B350 Gaming Pro M. 8 gigs G-Skill Ripjaws 5 at 3066 megahertz. Power Color RX 560. 4 gigabyte. Corsair CX 550 PSU. And he's got an SSD in there as well. He's going to paint it red. He's going to paint the SSD red. Inside of a CM Cooler Master Masterbox Lite 3.1. This reminds me very much of my Black Friday build. When I went on a $500 shopping spree. Actually spent a little bit less than $500, so probably the same price point here. I got a slightly different... I got the same CPU as you. Ryzen 3 1200. Great bang for the buck. If you're on a tight budget, I think I got a different... I definitely got a different... I think I went NVIDIA for my GPU. I did a GTX 1050 Ti. Slightly different case, but this is a pretty nice looking system. Honestly, like, this is about as clean as they come for a budget build. I mean, and you don't really have the luxury of tucking away and hiding every single cable inside of a super entry-level case.
You got like 0 behind the motherboard room in this, in this build. So,
but you did a really nice job here. I like how you sort of wedged all the cables between the power supply and the little SSD tray, the drive cage. They blend in because they're all black. There's no ketchup and mustard. Somehow you got a super budget rig with all black cables.
Yeah,
Stellar.
The newest Corsair CX series updates, they have all black cables and no green on the labels or anything like that.
Well, yeah, they're trying to catch up with EVGA. EVGA's been crushing it too.
Indeed.
And then also, it looks like, you've just got plenty of open space at the front of your case for unimpeded airflow. Cable management's on point. I don't really have much to complain about here, other than, what mouse is that? Is that like an old mouse, or is it's probably a modern mouse? Then I'm just looking at it like it's a really old mouse.
I'm not sure. It does look kind of outdated.
Could use
I'm not sure
maybe an upgrade.
What mouse.
See, if the PC that you submit for Pimp My PC is perfect, then there's nothing for me to complain about. I'll just complain about something else.
The other stuff in the picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really nice. I also have 0 critiques.
Yeah, good job, Brian.
The only thing I would say would be the SSD, which he said he's already planning to paint red.
Yep.
Which will really tie the whole system together.
Thanks, Brian.
Excellent job, Brian.
Chano! Next up we got Chano. This is, let's see, his Thermaltake View 31 is the case.
All right.
An Asus Strix Z270E motherboard with a 7600K. It's a Core i5. He's got a Thermaltake Ring cooler, 16 gigs of Trident Z DDR4, and an EVGA GTX 1070. Let's take a look.
All right. First thing, two things that stand out is the label on the power supply. as well as the red plugs on the power supply connectors for the graphics card.
Wow.
What?
I was thinking of something else, and I was like, for sure Paul is going to say the thing that I'm thinking.
Oh, no.
But you said two completely different things.
Really?
It's interesting how your eyes were drawn to something completely different at first glance. I was like, oh, he's got two things. He's definitely... I was going to say the water block.
Oh, the water block.
And how it's just sort of like crooked. Like
off
that
angle.
That kind of drives me insane, but it's still perfectly functional and all that. But it just...
But due to the fact that it's a 360 millimeter radiator, and you got to put the tubes at one side or the other, and the tubes on this side are fairly stretched out, like there's not a whole lot that can be done. You might be able to rotate it to where the Water 3.0 text is going vertically up and down, but I don't think you can get it to the point where it would be straight. Like I don't think you could put those connecting tubes on the bottom. It doesn't look like there's enough slack there.
What if you flip the radiator? Like, would it be possible to flip the whole radiator?
If you flip the whole radiator and had the tubes coming from this side, it could work. But then you actually might be dealing with a situation where the tubes are too long and they're drooping down and conflicting with the graphics card there. So I don't know.
That's fine though.
I don't know what the
I don't think that's an issue.
I don't know what the solution is here, but I know that the top of this is really just a flat black plastic surface with this sort of screened printing on it with thermal take. So you could cover that or paint over it, or you know, get a sticker or something. I don't know. There's other options for you there.
Yeah, for sure.
That at least would get rid of the text being at all akimbo.
And I agree with you taking off that sticker of the power supply.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they made an RGB power supply.
I did not know either.
Source.
It's just basically they took one of their RGB fans and stuck it in there.
Stuck a ring in there.
Which I guess then in that case kind of makes sense to have the power supply fan facing up, because then you can actually see that fan and appreciate it to some degree. I mean, I usually go with fan down, and it's a matter of preference to some degree, but usually that lets you take advantage of the dust filter on the bottom of the case, which I believe the View 31 has. I haven't worked with this case, so I'm not positive. Beyond that, it could use a little bit of cable tidying up down in the bottom area right behind the power supply. Mm-hmm. And
I'm wondering if he has, like, there's so many thermal. I've never seen so many thermal take things inside of a system. A thermal take case, thermal take cooler, thermal take power supply, and like maybe 6 ring fans.
Maybe he works for thermal take.
Do you work for thermal take? I don't know. Also, it just like you said, it bothers me that they have red connectors, red plugs for the PCIe cables on an RGB power supply.
That's always irritated me.
Like there aren't many power supplies out there that are RGB. So if you're gonna do it, make the freaking cables black.
You could buy different caps and a pin extractor and swap those if you really wanted to. But yeah, it's up to you. Or you could just get like extensions or something like that. That'd be another option. But yeah, I mean, overall, again, this is not a bad looking system. I think we're just giving it some critiques because it's fit my PC.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Next up, we've got
Donovan.
Donovan.
Old school AMD build.
Yeah, FX 8350, GTX 1050 Ti, super clock from EVGA, 1 terabyte everything drive, Corsair LED fans, zip tied heatsink, no mounts, and a 600 watt power supply, 8 gigs of HyperX RAM, Cooler Master, Master Box Lite 5. This is the same
heatsink.
Wait, Master Box Lite 5.
So the case is actually one of the newer. The case and the graphics card. Are somewhat newer.
Brian Maroxet's build was in the Master Box Lite 3.1.
Okay.
This is the 5 Master Box Lite 5, which isn't that much different from what I can tell. Maybe a little bit more high end. But the cable, when you look at the cable management between Brian's system, not to call you out or anything, Donovan, but it's a good reference. Like, look at Brian's build and see how he's done things.
To what can be done.
Yeah, exactly.
He is working with a power supply that has a bit cleaner look when it comes to the cabling.
For sure. Not much you can do about that.
But yeah, definitely there's a lot of work that can be done with the cable management here. Also, it seems like a slightly interesting mix of components. I think actually these Corsair LED fans are what's standing out to me. These are $25 fans each.
It's like put that towards an actual decent cooler that you don't have to zip tie.
That's $40 or $50 that you could spend on like a CPU cooler that you could get rid of those zip ties with. I mean, much respect if you're in a tight spot and you just need a heatsink fan on your CPU.
He could have already had those fans.
And you managed to wire it in that way. Yeah, so
they could have been a gift.
If you didn't spend cash money on those Corsair fans, then that's fine. But if you did, that's kind of silly. Beyond that, yeah, I mean, you're dealing with some kind of older and outdated components here. You're really going to want to consider upgrading your core platform here, your FX 8350. There's so many good options when it comes to AMD's current stuff with Ryzen. And lots of deals right now because Ryzen 2 is coming soon.
Hella deals.
More on that on my half of the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I would lean towards. Granted, you're going to need to upgrade your memory too in that case, which might be expensive as well. But your case is good. You got a couple fans set up. Yeah, I'd maybe hold out for that core that base platform upgrade. And then kind of see what you can do about reconfiguring some of the other stuff. And eventually you're going to want to either get extensions or a power supply, a different power supply. You got a 600-watt EVGA, so I'm sure it's fine as far as functionality goes. But if you really want things to look clean, you probably want to get rid of those ketchup and mustard cables.
Indeed. Completely agree with everything you said. Next up, we've got Chris M. Chris, our final victim here. Now, I singled Chris out. I picked Chris because he had a very familiar-looking system inside of an Enthoo Elite, the same $900 case that I just finished my Enthoo Elite build inside of. Also, an SLI setup with a Rampage 6 Extreme motherboard and monoblock from EK Water Blocks.
Wow.
2 1080 Ti's, a 1200-watt power supply. These are all similarities between both of our builds. So I just had to take a peek here.
Now he is using the ring fans rather than the Corsair
L series.
The Corsair LL series.
Okay.
No. He also has 6.
And he's got 6 L series.
Wait, what?
Oh, they're at the front.
He's combining. He's got Corsair and Thermaltake fans here.
Looks like he's got sort of a similar radiator setup.
Is there only this one picture?
Is that all? As far as I know, yeah.
Spilled beer.
Oh!
It's okay.
Beer spillage. It's going to be one of those shows, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the show
Hope you're in for
Christmas.
It. Hope you're ready for it.
Okay. I've heard there's a really good video on how to clean a mechanical keyboard.
By Paul's Hardware. Somewhere. That was years ago.
That was yeah.
Right? At least a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's video still. I mean, it's still as valid and relevant and useful today.
Of course.
As it was in the day it was published.
I'm gonna do more cleaning videos.
Like pushing buttons. I'm gonna push some shortcut key that.
Maybe unplug it first. I don't know. All right. So what are we looking at here?
You might.
I will say I am envious that you were able to fit a dual loop system in here, have those reservoirs where they are, and still manage to get those front radiator fans inside of the radiator bracket. Because I was, oh my goodness. Oh, that's, Paul. It's waking up, man.
Everything's fine.
This could end the stream. It could just immediately kill the stream.
I've got other keyboards we can switch to if necessary.
But that's my one. That's one of the sacrifices I had to make when building the Elite build. Was putting those fans on the very direct underbelly outside of the radiator bracket, in order to house both of those pump res combos. So what that equates to is pretty choked airflow. As a lot of you guys already know, if you have a fan that's directly underneath the front panel and it doesn't have, and the actual blades are not actually positioned before any sort of ventilation opening or mesh, then you're basically getting some choked airflow. And it's not to say that I'm like not confident that the 7980XE that I have in there is going to be suffering or anything like that. I think it'll be just fine, but I think there is a lot of cooling potential lost because of how I've situated things. But having the fans where you have them here, I think that's going to give you maybe a couple degrees cooler temperatures on what looks to be your GPUs, because it looks like that's your GPU loop. It's interesting because the front radiator that I have in that build is actually servicing the CPU. It's part of the CPU loop. So
what I meant to do.
What else is interesting here is that looks like you've got a 280 on the mid plate, just below your GPUs. I think mine's a 360, so you do have a little bit more room for routing the tubes and stuff like that. You've also put all of your fans on the two bottom rads as in a pull configuration, bringing air from the bottom of the case, and your bottom radiator also has a push-pull configuration.
I don't want to say.
So I'm actually planning to do some testing where I test the thermals in the system's current configuration, and then flip all of the fans on the bottom two radiators to see if that changes. Because I'm very interested, and also to see what's happening.
What? Nothing. Everything's fine.
Someone take a shit.
Hero might have farted.
Hero, stop farting. You're disgusting.
Can
You dog, you.
you set that on top of the keyboard?
Hurry. Is it time for a... It's gone. It's a goner.
It's not a goner. It's just...
It just needs to dry out.
It's pushing buttons that I do not push.
It needs a timeout.
Yeah.
Good lord.
What are you doing? Why are you pushing?
We're just validating the keystrokes.
Device is ready.
Sweet. Anyway, it looks like a promising build you have going on here. Some of these two bends. It looks like you're using a couple elbows to get your runs along where you want them. Looks like you've got some funky builds too, like the one going to your CPU outlet, and even the inlet for your monoblock there. Pretty wacky sort of bends, and also the one coming out of the left reservoir is very interesting. You are bolder than I am, sir, to say the least. But that is to say, I hope everything goes well for you, and good luck on this build. I know, looking at this picture, I know how much time and thought went into even getting to where you are now.
He's been flailing in chat asking us to click the imager link for more pictures with it lit up.
Well, there it is.
What do you think now?
I'm sort of jealous that you have two different fluids in your loops, because that's what I wanted to do, and I didn't get around to it. But I'm going to be changing out some things with the Elite build very soon. Like there will like drastic changes very soon. But it's nice to see that you've got it up and running. Doesn't look like there are any leak issues or anything like that. It's interesting that his front fans are also exhaust, right? I just noticed that. It just dawned on me.
I think that's probably done purely for looks.
Potentially. I mean, that's partially why my mid-plate fans, like on the mid-plate radiator here that I had below the GPU, that's partially why they're set to exhaust, pushing air downwards, because I wanted to see the beautiful RGB on the L series fans. But now I want to do a comparison video where I actually flip all the fans to see if having super positive pressure makes a difference.
I have another brilliant product idea for any vendors out there who are watching. I'm just gonna say it.
Shark Tank.
Give me money if you make this thing. Why don't they make flippable fans where you can somehow flip the bearing or something like that to where you could make it an intake or an exhaust, but either way you wouldn't have the the ugly cross part with the hub connector. I'm sure that could be designed.
I'm sure it could. And that's a great idea.
Or maybe even just like a switch on it to switch the polarity, so it just spins one way or spins the other way, so you can flip the fan. That'd probably be real easy.
The fan blades aren't. I mean, they have to be like a symmetrical reversible blade.
Yeah, the fan blades. You're right. The fan blades would have to be designed in such a way that which you'd probably
It sounds like it's doable.
Or, well, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to think about it more, but then maybe if you could pop it off and flip the blades, but the hub stays the same, right?
I see what
because
you're saying.
Designing a blade that would work both ways
wouldn't be quite as effective.
Yeah, you'd lose some, you know.
It'd be a half-ass to serve both sides.
If you could, you know, they have fans where you can pull the whole fan off to clean it. What if just the blade part came off and then you could flip that and pop it back on and then flip a switch?
Yeah. You know?
Man, Corsair.
Someone who does that
Corsair, someone owes me money now.
And have them actually work well, that's going to make a lot of people very happy, including myself. Good ideas, Paul. Good ideas all around. But thank you guys so much for submitting your pictures of your systems for Pimp My PC. There'll be more opportunities next week, potentially. But we can move on to our face-off.
Face-off.
I feel like we haven't done face-off in a while.
This might be challenging without the full-size keyboard, but we'll see.
Or twice as fun.
Or twice as fun.
We are playing, and I think we played this game before. I was such in a rush, as I mentioned earlier, that I just picked a random game on this site that I usually go to, which is Super Fighters, but I think we have played it before. But that's okay. That we can have a rematch, because I think you might have beat me at this game last time, and now it's time for my vengeance.
I hope so.
I will get my sweet, sweet vengeance. This is the punishment is going to be loser has to drink something.
Some amount.
Drink a lot. Drink
the amount of their drink.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make us like pound the golden drop because it's 10% and we'll both die.
Yeah.
But there will be an ample punishment. So yeah, super fun. Oh, maybe we haven't played this. Maybe we have. I don't know. Ooh.
How do you?
It's very very edgy action music. It's like spy versus spy.
The keyboard is slipping.
Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. We don't need a tutorial. We can just jump right in.
But I can't even select.
Okay, yeah, people are confirming. Yep, we've played this before.
Like we need other people to tell us.
I know.
Oh, now it's working. Okay.
They know me better than I know myself.
Just set up.
Oh. Graphic quality. We don't want to tax your system too hard, Paul.
Well, I'd like to see what the controls are.
Turn that on medium.
Up, down, left, right.
That's player 1.
N,
so that'd be
M,
me.
and these. No, this is gonna be me because I gotta use the right side of the keyboard.
Oh, that's okay.
Player 2, you're gonna be WSASD.
1, 2, 3, 4. Melee, shoot, grenade, power up. Melee, shoot, grenade, power. Okay.
Melee, shoot, grenade. All right.
Okay.
Versus.
Sure.
I'm gonna be. Oh yeah, I remember playing this now. Stop it.
Oh.
I'm gonna be Scott.
Okay.
Who do you want to be? I guess I have to choose.
Let me be Mac. Macify. 0 bots.
No bots.
1v1 me, biatch.
Game mode.
Well, no. First to 3.
First to 3?
First to 3 sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Magic number. Okay.
You can drop through platforms by double tapping down. Alright, press spacebar.
Oh. Okay, I'm player 2. Okay. Okay. I can jump, I can melee, I can...
Oh.
Okay, I've got some guns and... Oh, I just dropped in a pile of acid.
I win!
Wow! Okay.
I win!
Okay. So that's how we're gonna play.
I am so good at this game.
I just thought I would give you a head start, because that was intentional. Alright.
Had to take a drink of beer there. Celebrate.
How come you get, spawned on the nice ledge, and I'm like right above, teetering on a...
Wait for the ad.
Pile of acid. What?
I don't know. I was...
What ad?
It didn't play because I have uBlock Origin. Alright. Here we go again.
I don't like this. I don't like... Okay. So what happens? Oh, no. Okay. I mean, I remember this game, but this level is definitely much different than last time. I'm scared. I don't...
It's a very challenging level.
Expert mode.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Ah!
Explosions. Oh, damn it. Wait, how are you aiming?
Don't worry about it. I'm playing the game. You played this before and you picked it.
No, what? Wait, how come I can't pick this gun up?
Oh, Molotovs.
Pick up the damn gun. Pick it up. All right, I'm coming for you. Oh, jeez, I'm on fire.
Oh no, I fell in the friggin' lava.
Yes!
Wait,
yes!
That's a draw.
Are you serious? Are
died.
you serious? Yeah. Oh my god, my dead, lifeless body.
That's awesome.
Right. Come at me, bruh.
Getting the hang of this now. I can feel it.
Oh wait, how do you? Okay.
Whoops.
Oh jeez. Oh!
What?
No! No! Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Just I blew both of us up and I fell into the fucking acid.
That was rough.
Alright, so that's 2 for me. Or, I guess 2 for you, technically. Alright, alright.
Oh, we're starting us off pretty close this time.
Yep. Oh my god. I'm so scared. I hope this doesn't... Oh shit. No! No! Oh my god, that was so lame! That was so lame!
I never actually hit.
I don't even think we like actually hit each other.
Not really. Not really. Well, it's a hard-fought battle there.
I guess that's it.
I guess that was it.
It's like who can not kill themselves first?
Yeah, pretty much.
Who can not kill themselves the most? All right.
The only time I died was when I jumped into the lava as well. No, I killed you once. I threw the Molotov at you and you burned up. When I dived in, dove into the lava, and that's why it was a draw.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
I exhibited
you killed me once.
Skill and
we were playing to
dexterity.
3. Yep. You killed me 1. But sure, I'm suicidal.
We're very good at games. You're right, chat.
We're so good. We're so good. I'm super salty, but I still have to carry out the punishment, which is to drink something.
I need more beer, actually.
Golden Drac doesn't really make sense for this because it's just it's a waste because it's so delicious. You wanna savor the flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Get some more beer.
Gotta savor that shit.
You saying you want to pound a whole other beer?
Sure. I don't know about a whole one. Okay. I do have to drive later, but I will pound maybe half of one.
You want a pale ale?
That's probably the lightest one we have, right?
The lightest I have is probably Stella. I don't know if you feel like pounding Stella.
I'll do a Stella.
Okay.
I can handle a Stella, I think.
In the meantime,
we can skip my last segment because we have quite a few donations and we're already somehow we filled up
I don't know how that happened.
the time. I don't know either. So I'm going to start reading off donations here. Pup Shepherd for the $5. Remember when I gave Kyle a shirt in Awesome Hardware 86B at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 38 seconds? Have a happy holiday, Kyle. I think about that moment all the time, Pup.
He's saying that when
all
he
the
gave
time.
you that shirt, it was actually for Christmas. And right now, is that?
No, a shirt. He gave me a shirt.
Yeah, I remember the shirt.
Oh, was it a Christmas time? Was it at Christmas
He's just
time?
saying, remember when he did that? Merry Christmas. I'm saying when he sent that shirt, was it intended to be a Christmas present for right now?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just planning ahead.
That's potentially true.
Where'd the bottle opener go? You got?
Either way, thank you very much, Pup. Appreciate it, sir. Fred Rant, $10. Why is it when the guys drive the tank, everything goes well, but when Wifey Sauce drives, she runs over a car? Because Wifey Sauce is a volatile human being that is unpredictable and is just one of God's natural disasters, quite frankly. So that explains it. But everyone should go watch the tank video if you haven't seen it yet. Jay and I make an ass of ourselves trying to build a PC on a tank.
Is that up on?
It just went up on YouTube earlier today.
Didn't see that.
And it's pretty silly. But thank you very much, Fred. Appreciate the donation.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, hero.
Whoa. Oh my god.
He's really looking for attention today. Hold on.
He is huge.
Hero, come here.
Hero. And there's even like a 10-pound sandbag on it.
Did he somehow know? Wow. That was...
Alright, you sit down and let me reframe.
Okay. Here, come here. What's wrong? What's wrong, little boy? You feeling neglected today?
All the neglect.
I've paid attention to him. He's got lots of pets.
Should be good.
He's probably wondering where his mom is.
Where's mommy? You keep.
Well,
oh no, wait, I did not.
Why don't you stay there and I'll frame it? Since I'm a little bit more used to
you've nailed it down to muscle memory. You can do it in your sleep. But okay. Let's see. Yep, yeah, we confirmed that wifey sauce is crazy. So we can move on. Thank you very much, Fred. Appreciate it. Glad there was no ultimatum with this donation this time around. Alexander Pinkov for the 200 rupees or rubies. Hello from the snowy Moscow. Why, hello. I'm without beer today, but I have tea. P.S. I like your show. Tea's always good. You know, it doesn't really. No, it's actually not good at all compared to beer, but that's fine.
I bet this is showing everyone a close up of your face on the screen?
It sure is. Yeah. Yep. Everyone's got a full like full Ultra HD image right now. All right. Thank God. All right. The view count dropped suddenly. I was wondering what was going on, and I looked over. Okay. It's back up now. It's back up.
I had to make sure.
Whew.
I was in focus.
Skincare. Hashtag skincare. Acne lives matter. Fred Rent once again. Oh no. Alexander, thank you very much for the donation for the 200 rubies. I'm sure that's like $1 million US. I really appreciate it, sir. And cheers from Moscow. Or cheers to Moscow from LA. Pup Shepherd once again. Pup, you're an animal. You're an animal. You're a pup. You're a puppy. $5. It's my birthday. I turned 27 today. Wags, wags.
Oh, happy birthday.
Lots of puppies to play with.
Happy...
Wink. Pup.
Happy birthday.
You the man. You the man. We should grab a beer sometime, Pup. You and I. Just you and I. No one else. No supervision. No authorities. TV Chow with the $5.
TV Chow.
TV Chow.
TV Chow.
I'm gonna do angry Asian accent, angry American tourist today. Just bought a brand new Springfield. Just bought a brand new Springfield 9mm with 1,000 rounds. Finals are done this Thursday. Going to America. All over the range afterward. Have a beer. Well, Davey, I do appreciate that. I hope you have the best of luck with your finals. Hope you get through them all right, and that you ace them all, my friend. And go to America after all over the range afterwards. Cool, sweet. I hope you fire all 1,000 rounds of your 9mm ammunition via your Springfield, and drink and be merry while you're doing it.
I agree.
Thank you very much, Stevie.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Stevie.
it. Oh yeah, we got the background music back. Sweet. Next up, we've got Green Plantain, $5. All caps. What's going on? So I have to read it like I'm screaming. What's going on with Asus X299 boards? Cannot find any. So how Kyle and Paul got one? Sell me your Rampage 6. You know the amount of work I'd have to do? The amount of time it would take to actually extract the Rampage 6 from the Elite build? It would probably take me like a day. So no, I'm not gonna do that. But what? You can't find any?
You can't have mine.
No, you can't have mine either. There are a few PC parts that I'm willing to part with.
I wouldn't expect there to just be no X299 boards out there. Why? I don't know why that would be the case. You doing okay?
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Just
hang it in there.
Hiccups, natural carbonation. I don't know. I looked up the Rampage 6 formula the other day, actually, like yesterday, and it was sold out on Newegg, but I didn't realize that all Asus X299 boards are sold out everywhere.
Huh.
That's a weird
thing. I haven't been shopping for X299 boards, so
no,
haven't encountered that.
Definitely not. Well, hopefully your luck turns around for you. But thank you very much anyway for the Green Plantain donation. The Rychenek for the $5. You know what would be an awesome Christmas present? Advanced OC Ryzen video on Ryzen. Merry Christmas, Paul and Kyle. Have a beer on me. An overclocking video on Ryzen
The advanced overclocking video on Ryzen.
Oh, advanced? Oh, because you have a...
When I did my basic overclocking video on Ryzen, I said I was going to do an advanced overclocking video.
People, I feel like half the donations are just now like, Paul, you need to follow up with that one video that you promised us.
I know.
Where's that one? Where's that HTPC, Paul?
That one and the HTPC.
Where's that advanced overclocking video on Ryzen, Paul?
I deserve it. But, you know, I do things in my own time.
Oh, no. I'm supposed to chug this, actually.
Yeah, you're supposed to be pounding that.
Okay, all right, let me kill the golden jock first, and then I can pour it into the glass, because it sucks chugging out of a bottle. It sucks. I don't like bottles, or bottlenecks, or corks. Moving on. Thank you very much, Reichnick. Fred Rant, $5. Once again, you guys doing the straw poll? Wifey Sauce would also love to see it.
What straw poll? Is that what you talked about when you donated last week?
I think so.
He's expecting us to remember something that happened a week ago.
Yeah. That was like
But he donated like $100.
He did.
But it was to you, so it's your responsibility.
If you want to send me the straw poll, I will show it to the audience.
Fred, if that was the donation was to me, I'd totally remember it, but it was to Kyle, so I don't.
Shut up. No, you would not. You're totally lying right now. You're totally... No one would ever remember that. Because when we both read that... Whenever we read these donations, we're already a few beers deep. And sometimes it's 10% beer. And no one can expect us to remember any of this.
Yeah.
This is why we stream it and record it live.
It's so we have a record of what actually happened.
We have a record.
We can go back and be like, oh yeah.
We can recall this organically. Nonetheless, Fred, thank you for your patronage and donations. I'm sure Wifey Sauce will pick up the pieces, as she usually does, after me. One random person, that's his name, one random person, for the 50 Norwegian krona. What mini ITX case do you recommend for a portable VR rig? I have the Node 202. I have the Node 202, which is fantastic. You can sort of modify it a little bit to fit a 120 radiator AIO in there if you wanted to. But there's so many good mini ITX cases nowadays. You know, and what makes it a good VR portable rig? I mean, it's really the hardware that you're putting inside of it that makes it good for VR. What are some highlight mini ITX cases for you, Paul?
I can't remember the model numbers of them, but I like the little shoebox cases, the little ones that are, you know, about that big. Like,
I still
Thermaltake makes one, Cooler Master makes one.
Yeah.
I believe Corsair makes one. They're all kind of based on the same internal frame. Silverstone has some options there.
Yeah, SG05 from Silverstone.
Those are small enough that you can pick them up and take them with you, but they usually still fit full-size power supplies and sometimes even a 5 1/4 inch band there. So it means you don't necessarily have to pay more money for the shrunk-down components.
Yeah.
So something like that would be a decent option. If you want to take it with you and you got to fly anywhere, then definitely something like a Node 202 that size is going to be better for you because you're going to want to be able to put that into a carry-on luggage so you can take it with you and not trust it to the baggage handlers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah. Zach Korber for the $10. Moving our physical media to digital system, 6800K at 4.08, 32 gigs of DDR4 2400, Intel 600p, 850 EVO, and WD hard drive. Takes forever in Handbrake. Am I doing something wrong? Looking at a 960 EVO eventually.
I mean, takes forever is a relative term. You're talking about transcoding video, which is sort of inherently a time-consuming thing. It's going to take more or less time depending on the length of the video and resolution you're transcoding to and that kind of thing. So it might just be that if you haven't done that very much before, you're not used to how much time it's taking. Beyond that, I mean, it looks like you have a pretty good setup for what you're doing.
Handbrake's fairly multi-threaded, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Handbrake should be multi-threaded.
Right. So I mean, your 6800K still only has 4 cores. I mean, granted, it's got
6.
Oh, 6800K is a 6 core. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
6.
I'm totally thinking 6700K. Wow, brain fart. Yes, 6 cores, 12 threads. If you're experiencing trouble in Handbrake, you might want to look at your source material. Sometimes if you're dealing with just a super big raw file, say you're just like shooting in RAW, even something like a 6800K can get bogged down when encoding that. Apart from that, I don't think it's your SSD. I don't think a 960 EVO would help. You're already pretty capable 850 EVO. So if that's what you're buying it, that's why you're buying it. If that's why you're buying it, I don't know. I'm not sure. We need more information. But 6800K is pretty baller, so I don't think that's where you should be looking.
If you're transcoding media, like, get a, you know, queue up a bunch in Handbrake and let it go overnight, and it's usually how you do it. Next up, Stephen Hill.
$50. Holy smokes,
Thank you,
Steven. You son of a bitch. Sending this off before hitting the gym. Merry Christmas, gentlemen. Merry Christmas to you, Steven.
Merry Christmas,
Hope you have an excellent holiday fun-filled workout that I wish I could bring myself to do right now. But you know, I'm a lazy piece of shit. So
how you feel?
I'll live like through you.
Look what you did, Steven. You made Kyle feel bad.
Yep, I'm sad panda. Thank you very much, though, man. Appreciate that awesome donation. Fred Rant, once again. What do you want now, Fred? $5. Kyle, will you do a video on connection and config of the Corsair Lighting Node Pro? I already kind of did a video on the Corsair LL Series fans, including the Lighting Node Pro.
So yes.
So yes, in a past/future tense. But thank you for the donation nonetheless. Yoda Ninja, from the $50. Yoda Ninja. Holy smokes, brother. Hey guys, been a while since I donated. Any chance you guys might add Nightbot to Twitch so that you can add useful links via commands to your stores, YouTube channels, etc. Also, how come the bottleneck shirt isn't tri-blend? So to answer your first question, we have a amazing bot named Cell Processing, who is better than any other bot that you could possibly automatically implement. We firmly believe in human botting. Human botting is a phrase that exists that I did not just make up. And as far as your other question, maybe it will become a tri-blend shirt. Maybe the Beware Bottleneck shirt will become tri-blend. I'll talk to John, our t-shirt guy and merchandise guy, about that, because I have seen a couple requests for that. So, yeah, I like the tri-blends. Our tri-blends are super nice.
Oh, yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah, they're 3 times better than single blends.
See what you did there. Moving on to Scott Dilbeck, $6.06.
Scotty!
Can't watch show at the moment, but we'll catch it later. Kyle, the 10K build turned out beautiful. That fast forward 2 bending montage was dope. Paul, HTPC. Thanks, Scott. There will be some changes to the Elite build coming soon. Stay tuned for it. It's going to look completely different in a couple weeks.
No, hold on.
Paul, oh, what's he doing? Oh, his bed is in proximity of the tripod that holds the camera you're watching us through right now. Yeah, dude. I kind of had an idea to do like the dual loop's awesome because you can put 2 different color fluids in it, and when they cross each other, it looks really badass. So I was thinking like doing the whole like yellow, magenta, and turquoise, like that trifecta. I think that's a cool combo. So maybe like one loop will be magenta, the other one will be yellow, and then all the RGB lighting would be teal or turquoise. I don't know. There's a random thought that I had, but I think pastels would look super badass inside the Elite build. That is to say, like, the great thing about the Elite build and the way I sort of designed it and built it was that it could be anything I wanted at any time. As long as I was happy with the runs, which I currently am. I love the way the runs look. It suits my style, and I just like it personally. It's really easy to swap out the fluid anytime. It's really easy to change the RGB lighting anytime. So I can literally change the overall look of that system like that, and without really much effort at all. So was a little bit, you know, not 100% satisfied with the current silver view. The view itself, the view fluid itself is beautiful. And when I look at Arctic Panther back there, and it's a white view, Paul actually got probably one of the last bottles of white view that Primo Chill themselves even had on hand. He stole it!
Stole it.
Right from my arms, right from my hands. You know, the silver doesn't reflect the lighting quite as nicely. There's not as much contrast. It can look a little dull, if I'm speaking honestly about my own, you know, plus $12,000 build, $12,000 build. But it's not over. It's far from over, folks, and I'm still going to be making a lot of iterations to it in the future, so stay tuned. Moving on, though, thank you very much, Scott. Mino Tarbison. Sorry if I butchered that. Probably did. $5. Hi, I received an Asus TUF B350M Plus motherboard for Christmas with a Ryzen 1700 CPU. Wondering if there's going to be any safe overclocking. Overclocking is not inherently dangerous nowadays. Your system will shut down if it's too hot or can't handle it or it just won't post, letting you know, like, no, yeah, we're just not going to do that. It's not going to try to, like, run all of your favorite games and then, like, somehow, like, sprain an ankle or, like, blow out a knee in mid-application. So, I don't know. Look up a bunch of guides. You can probably find some on Paul's channel, my channel, Jay's channel, Linus's channel. They're everywhere. But overclocking is not as scary and disastrous and dangerous as most people think it is, or as it used to be. Senior Sheepdog, or Sir Sheepdog, SR Sheepdog. $5. One of y'all should be doing a delidding video. With the increasing impact of crap Intel Tim on CPU temps, delidding is now a thing. Keep up the good work. Why do you think I had the one and only Steve of Gamers Nexus, aka Tech Jesus, delid my 7980XE?
I have a delidding video coming up.
Paul's delidding things himself, like a big boy. Yeah. He's actually doing it all on his own.
Didn't have Steve do my dirty work for me.
You know, I've got minions everywhere, Paul. It's a whole network of Bitwit minions.
I have to find my 8700K though. I'm not sure where it went.
You need to do that too. But yes, delidding is great. It's great. It increases power efficiency. It lowers thermals, lowers temperatures, and can potentially improve overclocking as well. There are some risks involved, but as long as you know what you're doing, like Paul or Steve, you should be totally fine. I've never attempted a delid. I'm sure I could do it. I'm sure it's learnable enough for even someone like me to do it with a proper delidding tool and stuff. Yeah, that was more of like a time-based thing. I was like, I don't have the time to like learn and like get a delidding tool. I didn't even have a delidding tool or know where to find one. And I was like, Steve lives for this shit, and he can probably make some content around it, which he did, which also turned out like that's the other thing I like about having Steve delid my 7980XE was that was my foot. My foot like literally like just like got caught on my mouse cable.
Why did your mouse just try to escape?
It was like but that's the reason why I like Steve, like the fact that he delidded my CPU is because he made like actual like really useful, informative, data-driven content based on my delid that a lot of people learned a lot from, including myself. Whereas like if I were to delid, it was like, oh look, it's like Jay's Two Idiots series, but it's just like one idiot trying to delid a CPU. Like, I guess I got it, guys. So I was like, yeah, this is for the greater good. It all worked out beautifully. And temperatures, actual temps in that dedicated CPU loop inside of the Elite build are on the horizon, folks. So stay tuned for that. Moving on here, Dingo on my 40. $5. What up, Dingo? I need to get my girlfriend the best Rgb keyboard, and I need to order it ASAP. Which ones do you recommend? Guessing it's for Christmas. You are a procrastinator, sir. The best Rgb keyboard on the market. I mean, what? Corsair K95 Platinum RGB? That's like the flagship, I guess.
That's their best.
I mean, that's like the most expensive one I know of.
Until you spill beer on it.
There's probably more. It's just words from the wise. There's a lot of good RGB keyboards out there. I think Corsair's RGB implementation, like as far as how the LEDs look, is very good. Believe it or not, Tesoro has some amazing looking RGB lighting in their keyboards. The only thing is that they use Kale switches. So if your girlfriend is really set on Cherry MX, cherry switches, then you might want to stray away from that. But if she doesn't know the difference, or she doesn't mind the feel of Kailh switches, then Tesoro is definitely cheaper than the Corsair equivalents. And it looks fantastic. Their lighting is really on point. Apart from that, you know,
I would say have her try out different keyboards with different types of switches. Figure out what types of switches you want, and then look at the different options from different manufacturers who make keyboards with that switch, and then choose one that you like. Whether you want sort of a simple design, like, you know, a Cooler Master Keys, very simple. You know, just the frame and then the keys, and that's all you really got there.
Right.
Versus something like, you know, G.Skill has some options.
Right.
Corsair has options. I mean, there's so many keyboard options out there.
Logitech, Razer. Razer's a big one to look into. Check out like Black Widow and stuff like that. There's go to fucking, what's his name? Random Frank P.
Oh, yeah.
Random Frank P does hella RGB mechanical keyboard comparison videos that are really good and very well tested. You know, a lot of it's subjective, but he does a great job. Check him out if you're looking for some guidance. Moving on, though, thanks, Dingo. We got Anastasios Catejes. For the $20, happy holidays. Thank you very much. Love your show. Thank you. Keep up the great work. We will. One of these days, when I have a PC I can be proud of, I'll send you guys a pic so that you can nitpick at it. Pin my PC fodder. Love it. Thank you very much, Anastasios. Appreciate it, man. Or woman. I'm not sure exactly based on your name. Brian Webb, $14. I bought a mousepad from Paul, and it sucks. No, that's not what I said. Sorry. I bought a mousepad from Paul, but I only need one mousepad, and I like Paul's logo better. So here's the money I would have spent. You know what, Brian? Just know that your $14 that you just donated went to me. All right? So I don't care. It won't keep me up at night that you like Paul's logo better than mine.
It's a good logo.
I'm not offended at all. It doesn't get under my skin.
It's a universal sign for PC builders everywhere to rally around.
Shut up! Stop promoting it in a glorious way that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much, Brian, for your donation.
I'm using that mouse pad right here.
Stupid. No, the bit one's
awesome.
better. It's not. Shut up. Tom's Bremsmitz, 50 Norwegian krona.
Hey, Tom's.
Almost forgot to donate for these poor YouTubers. That's true. We are poor. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom, for reminding us. Thanks. I like when you remind us in your donation when you're giving us money how poor we are and how badly we need your. Sorry.
You just do.
I don't know. I literally hit one key and it opened up a Google Chrome support.google tab. Weird. Anyway. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. By the way, Kyle, I vote for option number 4. Hashtag Fred versus Kyle. I don't want to know what number 4 is. I'll probably find out later on tonight. Courtesy Flush M35. Beautiful name. Love it. $5. Watched pretty much every one of Kyle's Rise and Build videos before I built my most recent PC. I call it Ivan Ooze. Thank you for the guides, Kyle. You are very welcome.
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze. Is that a Power Rangers reference?
I wouldn't know.
Ivan
Power
Ooze.
Rangers.
For some reason, that reminds me of Power Rangers. No, I'm totally wrong. Ranger Wiki! Oh my god! I'm such a nerd! I'm such a 90s kid. It is a Power Rangers reference. He was the tyrant who was trying to, take over the world, and this guy.
Yeah, he's all purple. He's all purple.
It's purple fuckwad. He was a dick. He's a good actor.
Ivan Ooze.
I like that movie.
There we go.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you were able to build a nice system based on watching some of my videos. That means a lot, actually. Bitsby Trippin', $20. Let us know if you guys want the Titan V or Titan. Yeah, Titan V. Gamers Nexus is finished with it. Would like your viewpoint/testing with it. Cheers and happy holidays. Thank you very much, Bitsby Trippin'. I appreciate all the work that you're doing for us tech tubers who, don't have access to a Titan V, believe it or not. Even when we're, as big as we are, we still don't always get every single GPU that every GPU manufacturer ever puts out. But I appreciate the offer. We will definitely. I'm sure either of us will let you know if that's something that we could use. And I know Gamers Nexus has already held it and created lots of nice content around it.
They've done extensive testing.
Yes, they have. So I mean, like, what What more could me and Paul offer on the Titan V front that Gamers Nexus hasn't already fulfilled? That is the real question. But we appreciate the donation and the offer nonetheless. Thank you very much, Bits. Sam Mendoza, $5. The straw poll was about you shaving your head, Kyle. Do it. Give in. Also love the show. Upgrading my system with R3 1200 and an SSD. Cheers.
Cheers,
Sounds
Sam.
like a great upgrade. I approve. The straw poll was about shaving my head, and I do not approve of that because I will never shave my head.
I don't understand.
I'll let nature shave my head, you know, when it decides that I should just go fully bald one day.
Go bald. You're gonna go bald at some point?
Yeah. I mean, probably, yeah. Looking at my, like, family tree, I'm like, I'm definitely going bald. Like, dragon bald. Anyway. Thanks, Sam, for reminding me of my impending doom and my scalp's hopelessness. Siegfried. 10 Canadiers. Currently using an R7 1700W GTX 1080, and I'm thinking of switching back to an Intel 6 core i7. Is it worth the switch? Ryzen issues with RAM and system not booting every time, and I can't get a good overclock. You should be able to get at least 3.9 gigahertz on all cores with that CPU. I don't know what motherboard you have. Maybe that has something to do with it. Hopefully it's not an AB350
I
or
blame more
A350.
on the RAM. Ryzen can be very finicky with RAM. If you don't have a kit that's validated to work on your motherboard at the overclock speed, then you might not be able to boot.
You also have to configure it properly in the BIOS in order for it to hit the rated speeds sometimes. So that means you'll have to, within the BIOS or UEFI, you have to dial in the actual speed, the timings, and the voltage of whatever DDR4 you're using. So look up some guides on that. That could help you out if you're not able to hit the rated speed of the kit you bought. But good luck. Thank you very much, Siegfried. Dave Nunez, 5 Canadiers. I just picked up an Asus ROG Swift PG279Q, 165 Hz for gaming, and an Asus ProArt PA279Q for work. Does the gaming monitor have to be primary? No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Either monitor can be primary. You could tell Windows to prioritize your ProArt monitor for gaming. As far as I know, should be an issue. Fred Rand.
He probably wants to game on the Swift though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Fred Rand, $5 was referring to the Elite build with several Corsair Commander Pros. I only have one Commander Pro in the Elite build. That's enough to get all the 6 fans that are actually visible. Those can be plugged in. The other 6 that are on the other 2 radiators are plugged into the one of the fan hubs behind the motherboard tray that comes included with the M2 Elite case. There's only one Lighting Node Pro that I have installed that is synced to the 6 fans that are visible inside of the main cabin, which is the top radiator and the mid-plate radiator, so basically meaning that all the other LL series fans, half of the LL series fans in the system are not lit up. They're spinning, but they're not lit up.
I'll be right back.
Okay, because there's only one Lighting Node Pro in there. As far as I know, there's no connectivity to light the rest of the fans up there. Let's see. What do we got? Hope Sinker, $5. Hey guys, any chance of an audio version of the podcast for us to listen to in the car at work? Would love to see this. I don't know. Like, it's just like one of those things where it's like we're not even partnered. Like, it'd be so easy for us to just like apply for a partnership on Twitch and have a lot more features for us and even for you guys, but we're just like, we keep it so casual, man. And to actually make an audio version, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does require a bit more man hours on our end, which I don't see us doing really. I think the best thing I would say is if you have YouTube Red, for instance, you can actually watch YouTube videos while your phone's locked, or you can at least hear the audio while your phone's locked, or the screen's off, so that you're pretty much listening to a podcast, if you will. But apart from that, I mean, I'm just leveling with you here. I'm being realistic. We haven't even taken the steps to become Twitch partners, which would directly benefit us, like financially. Like we could make more money if people could actually follow us for like $4 or $5 a month if we were partnered. We haven't even done that. So the fact that you're asking for like us to make an audio version, you know, is just we're too lazy. We're just too fucking lazy to do anything. We've the same lower thirds for like a decade, it seems. But it's always nice to hear that you guys have interest in that sort of thing that Paul and I will never, ever follow through with. Moving
I've thought about it.
on. I've thought about it too. And then I'm just like, nope, probably not. Let's see. Okay. Fred Ranch, $5, no comment, it seems. Unless I have... Oh. You had millions, Kyle. Then you got married. I had millions of what? I've never had millions of anything other than the camera just got turned. Okay, yeah. You're on it. You're on it. Like twice in one night. Like it's never happened, and then all of a sudden it's twice in one night.
Yeah. It's 'cause he's trying to drag the bed over here.
And he likes the bed over there. He knows that we're paying more attention to the tripod than him. He's clearly jelly. Super salty about the tripod. Yeah, I had millions, Kyle, then I got married. Yep, the wifey sauce sucks up every dollar I've ever made. She's just real housewives of YouTube. That's what she is. Wishbone, $5. I've had success on my liquid metal PS4 Pro thermal paste swap using Thermal Grizzly's amazing stuff. I dropped 15 to 20 degrees and voided warranty. Nothing wrong with that. Congratulations on your temp drops. That sounds sick, Wishbone. Eric Q, we got 2 more here. Sorry guys, $5. Sorry guys, feeling pretty sick and we'll have to turn in before the second half. Have another $5. Thank you very much, Eric. Hopefully you get better soon. Being sick definitely sucks. I've been sick many times in my life. It's never been fun. Joey Goldberg, $5. Use this $5 to buy a Titan V. Should be enough. I'll buy 2 with that kind of donation. Thank you very much, Joey. And that is all I have for my half of the show as far as donations. I can quickly rattle off some Johnson shoutouts for anyone who happened to pick up a piece of merchandise from my store. So let's see here. What do we got? Let's see. What time does the show start? Like 5-ish. Okay. All right. We've got one from Robert Davis. Oh, that's Robert Davis. CPU cooler and BIOS flasher ceramic mugs. Thank you very much for that, sir. I appreciate it. Next up, we've got Brandon Dorbel for a CPU cooler and flash BIOS. More mugs. More mugs. The mugs are doing well. Okay, cool. And then Brian Dixon Johnson to you for picking up a Bitwit Words in a Circle pint glass.
Double Johnson, Brian Dixon.
Double Johnson, Brian. One for Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson gets a Johnson.
Robert Johnson.
A Johnson for Robert Johnson for picking up a BIOS Flashes shirt. Thank you, sir. We have one for Brian Sparkles. Oh no, Sparks. I thought your last name was Sparkles. I was gonna freak out. Bitwit Circle logo, decal, CPU cooler, and flash BIOS ceramic mugs. And an awesome hardware and Star Wars and RGB everything mugs.
Robert Johnson gets a double Johnson.
Robert Johnson.
I feel like it should be a quadruple Johnson.
You probably are the founder of that company, Johnson, that makes the baby oil.
That's true.
We've come full circle.
James McMaster. Johnson to you. Got the double desk mat set as well as the beer set.
Desk mat. John Reed, awesome hardware, Sword Fight gaming mouse pad. And a CPU cooler and flash BIOS full color ceramic mug.
Did you say Brian Sparks earlier?
I sure did.
Alright, that's a double Johnson for Brian too.
Hello.
Wow, a substantial order.
Oh my god, this is unprecedented.
A
Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson.
Wow.
2 Johnsons. Both getting probably...
And that's another double Johnson for the double Johnson.
Double Johnson for the double...
That's another quadruple Johnson.
Oh my god, this is a double Johnson squared.
This is more Johnsons than we've ever experienced.
Sword Fight shirt, Tri-Blend. We got an awesome hardware Star Wars Heather Navy. And a Star Wars RGB everything black ceramic mug. Holy crap, guys.
My god.
And finally, Marcus Edwards Marcus Edwards from the Bitwit Gaming Desk Mat. Thank you very much for picking up that mouse pad. You are going to love it. I'm using mine every day.
Glorious.
And you should too. Guys, that's going to do it for my half of the show. As unprepared as it was, seemed to be fun, and it was a good turnout. Thank you guys for being a part of it. But don't go anywhere, because we still have part 2 on Paul's channel to go, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible. So go ahead and follow the link in my video description if you're watching on YouTube, or just stay right where you are on twitch.tv.
We'll be right back.
BRB.
Thanks, guys. I gotta click the thing.